Hello YouTube, welcome to another edition of the RF Field Tech, where I take my almost 30 years experience in a ham adjacent field and bring it into the ham world. Today I'll be discussing a topic that is widely debated, discussed. People want to know how to do it, and that is grounding. So stay tuned for today's episode. So as I said, today I'm going to be discussing grounding. Grounding is very important. I'm at a communication site for my job, and as everybody knows that's taken the general exam, grounding is covered under the National Electric Code, Chapter 8. This gets updated every 3 years. Pretty much the only thing that changes there, though, is the nomenclature and the wording, but pretty much everything stays the same. And today I'm going to show you the types of wire we use, as well as the exothermic and the manual connection. So here's our ground bar today, and as you can see, this is a ground bar that we use. This is considered an exothermic connection. We call it CAD welding. Technical name is exothermic. I will put a description in the details of where you can get this. Usually from I don't remember where we saw it, Tesco, I believe. And this is a mechanical. And as you see, the ground wire, as it comes from up high, it flows straight instead of coming at an angle. So if it were to run down and come this way, electricity does not like to change directions, as we all know. So use two different types of ground cable. We use number 14 THHN, usually in a cloth, not the plastic shielding, and we use number 2 tin coated copper, and we run that through conduit with silicone in it. I'm going to see if I have one that's visible so that you can see what it looks like. We also use mechanical and exothermo, which is CAD welding, and I'll show you what those look like as well. So here I am, I'm outside the building. I'll show you inside, not too much of the equipment. I'm going to start outside, show you what it looks like. So this is the number 2 tin coated copper. It goes into a conduit, which we have silicone, so water and bugs and everything else can't get in there. Another thing we ground that a lot of people don't think about is our air conditioners. So here you can see we come out of the ground with a number 2, and that is a mechanical ground right there. And we ground out our air conditioners, as well as our generators, which this one's an alarm. I was just testing it, found an issue with it. The grounding is inside. I'm not going to unlock everything and show you that. The other thing we do is we put a buried ground ring. Not saying you have to do that. We do that before we set the building or anything. And what that looks like is, oh, it's full of water, but that's okay. You can see the ground here. And what we do is we have this inspection port so we can look at it and see and know that it is a good ground. It shouldn't be full of water. It means there's a leak somewhere. Water's getting into it. Who knows? Here we are inside. I'm not going to show the equipment if I can avoid it. But here you can see up high, we run a ground ring, a halo ground ring inside the building as well, so that we can ground everything to it. Now, all of these buildings, they have grounds that come in from outside inside, and then we do a mechanical ground to bond it to everything else in here, and then it gets bonded to the copper outlets, all of that. We even ground the air conditioning vents, as you can see here, and everything in here goes to a main ground bar, and that has two leads coming off of it. That goes underground into the ground as well. Each individual rack we have in here is also grounded. I'll show you on the back side so that I don't have to show you any of the equipment. There you go. There's a ground bar for our power distribution unit, and there's another one for the power distribution unit, as well as the equipment in that rack. We ground our power plant. We ground everything else. Just showing you that this is a properly grounded communication site. Not saying you have to go all out like this. Part 2, I will show you how I ground my personal shack, which is not grounded yet, but I'll wait and hope to see you there. 73s.